Y'all ready for another one? Hey, welcome to No Other Than Black Power Media. This right here is no other than the Remix Morning Show. Now, we about to get into it. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and let me introduce you to your host today. This brother right here puts the ball in balling. He is no other known than Dr. Jared Ball. And you know her. She does a thing in the Northeast. She's that beast, no other than Lucretia Williams.
What it is.
Ooh.
What it is, everybody.
Nice.
It was good.
Yeah, that was dope.
We amped now. We ready.
That was dope.
Good morning.
Morning. I know y'all got soul.
No question.
Yeah.
And
Without a doubt.
King, and like Albert King used to say, if you don't dig that, you got a hole in yours. You got a hole in your soul.
Y'all had a good
Right
weekend?
on.
Yeah. It was pretty chill.
What you do, Lucretia? Tell us.
I just hung out with the family. It was just nice, chilling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me find out who else was chilling this weekend. No other than Jackie Lukeman.
Hey.
Jackie in the building.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Everything's everything.
Mhm.
Well,
Jackie
since
had
y'all-
a busy weekend.
I know she did.
Oh my gosh. Kenya, damn it.
Kenya.
Kenya.
Kenya, goddamn.
Can you
Exactly. Kenya, goddamn.
You went to Kenya?
No, I would have loved to have gone to Kenya and delivered a sucker punch to the Kenyan president, whatever he calls himself.
Mm.
So yeah, the Black Alliance for Peace Mid-Atlantic and a bunch of comrades. We had a demo in front of the Kenyan embassy. Then we marched to the Jamaican embassy. Pissed those people off.
Imagine that.
Because Kenya, Jamaica, and the Bahamas agreed to send this police. Really, it's the Kenyan military into Haiti to help with the criminal gangs.
Mm.
Meanwhile, Kenya is having protests. People in Kenya are protesting the high cost of living. I mean, Kenya's got his own problem. Jamaica really does have a gang problem. I mean, the gangs in Jamaica are just like really wrecking shit.
Mm.
But Kenya finds a need and a reason to send a police force into Haiti to help with the criminal gangs. And they actually did that. The Kenyan police force, I'm not sure if Jamaican and Bahamian troops or police were with them, but those motherfuckers landed in Haiti yesterday.
Wow.
But our rally in front of the Kenyan embassy pissed off the ambassador because he was trying to hold a press conference and we were making too much noise. So he was mad at us. So yay us. And the Jamaican embassy, they were pissed off at us because we were disrupting their business and making all this noise in front of their embassy and saying mean things, and that's the whole point. That is the entire point. We want to disrupt your day and let you know that you're not doing this outside of the purview of the people. We see you, because were it not for us, and I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but were it not for us, nobody would have been out there standing up for Haiti. Nobody.
Mm.
Nobody. And as someone who is very active in left organizing, that has got to stop. We have got to stop organizing, calling ourselves anti-war, anti-imperialist, but nobody is bringing up Haiti ever, except for a small group of people. That has got to stop. So we did that Thursday. Then we had 2 days of phone zaps at the embassies, pissed them off. That was great. And then Saturday, we had a teach-in on Haiti and the Sahel. And then here we are Tuesday. Yesterday, we find out Kenya landed in Haiti. The Kenyan police force landed in Haiti, and we're about to ramp up some more activity. We've been, whatever that is, and we're also organizing with a group called Africans United, I believe, who are a mix of continental Africans and diasporic Africans who are organizing around the Sahel. So that's coming up too. So yeah, I was tired, but I was tired in probably the best way possible.
A weekend full of rebel rousing. I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out. So shout out
Great.
to the AAPRP and to our Toussaint Louverture work study group. We had a whole geopolitical discussion about just that and used some of BAP's materials. And it just sounds absurd when you say Kenya sent its military to Haiti. Like, of all the problems,
So far.
but I mean, it's just like, who are you? And in what condition are you to be sending anybody anywhere, except that we know that it's not Kenya per se. It's U.S. Western interests and inspiration and encouragement and inducement. But it just sounds so absurd to be like, how you
They the
Like,
third
how
world police.
But like Jackie's saying, your whole situation is a mess, and you're gonna send somebody halfway around the world to deal with someone else's mess, all of which is created by basically the same people for the
Mhm.
same reasons. It's
And they're not even the third world police. They can't police their own stuff.
right. They
They
Uh-oh.
can't-
they the third world rent a cop. They the Paul Blarts.
Yeah,
the
they
Paul
the
Blarts
imperialist
of-
rental cops.
Third
Imperial
string.
policing.
Oh
Not the Paul Blart.
That's insane. So
Oh.
yeah, a lot of work. A lot of work to be done, but it's got to be done.
Hey, well, speaking of Pan African, I got to rock the Pan African Festival this weekend. Had
Ooh.
everybody in the circle dancing, having a great time. So shout out to Beacon Hill out there in Decatur. Had a great time rocking out. Had a bunch of poets, had capoeira dancers, had drummers, and it was just a good blend. Brazilian, reggae. It was a blend of us. So it was a beautiful time this weekend.
Nice.
Right on.
nice.
Yeah, we had Atlanta sent somebody up to one of my classes.
Uh-oh.
We
How
had our
was that?
first day of classes yesterday, and I need y'all to get on your grind, man.
What you mean?
Explain.
My man. We had and my daughter, my oldest, was with me yesterday. She got to come to class with me for the first time in a while, and we'll be all week. It's gonna be a good week, but every semester it's an archetypal situation. I was a cliche when I was a student, and every semester there's at least somebody that is like, nah, I don't need this. Because I come out the gate like I got 16 weeks to turn you into a revolutionary. So out the gate, where everything's on the table day one, and he's sitting back. And there's always somebody. It's like boot camp or SEAL training. You try to get somebody to ring that bell and walk out as soon as possible. I'm trying to weed out the ones that can't make it. They can't. And day one, this dude was like, I gave my little spiel, and he basically said, "Man, I'm from Atlanta. I'm in the streets in Atlanta where we make money. We got businesses. We got what's wrong with black capitalism? What's your problem?
Oh.
What's the issue? Killer Mike is right. What? And
Conscious pop thought leader, right.
I said, my man, I started cracking up. I said, we're gonna have a good semester. I said, it's me and you, Atlanta. Me and you, Atlanta, all semester. I don't even know his name. I'm not going to learn his name. Me and Atlanta. This is
He
you,
is
Atlanta.
no one until he becomes radicalized.
You just
Yeah.
Atlanta.
He will be renamed, I guess. Yeah.
He got to earn his name
Hey.
back.
You got to bring them on at the end of the semester, man. Just to see from the beginning to the end of the semester. Just bring them.
We'll see. I
I
told
guess
him. I
fine.
said, because it's the opposite of the SEAL thing. Don't ring the bell, brother. Don't quit. Don't you go nowhere, because sometimes they leave. We'll see tomorrow if I'll know more tomorrow if he's gonna make it come back. But
It's that week drop period, right?
yeah,
so.
they got a couple weeks, but I want them to know, like, if this isn't gonna work for you, let's get clear immediately. But don't quit. I was like, I said, it's a real test. I said, if I tell you on day one, it's like a magician. If a magician tells you I'm about to trick you and can still trick you, that's skill. So if I tell you on day one, I'm going to propagandize you into a revolutionary and I'm still able to do it, be on guard. I was like, get your guard up. You still can't stop. Anyway,
It was for a while. People from New York came down with an arrogance. Now we got people from Atlanta.
Now you're coming up
with an arrogance.
They ain't got a doggone thing to be arrogant about.
What?
But check it out, Jackie. I told him to sign up to BPM because I said, so after all the back and forth and the bluster about businesses, I said, so what you know about Cop City? He said, what?
Oh.
He said, what's that? I said, yeah, come on, Atlanta.
That don't make no money.
Right.
Cop City ain't making money. What do you mean?
Because he was like, we got black mayors. We got black businesses.
Everything.
What is the problem?
Oh.
He said, we're the problem, boss.
Bless
He said,
him.
we're the problem.
I mean, you go to the highway, you'll see white people on the highway asking for money. It's white. It's kind of
Not according to him. Atlanta got it fixed. The only problem in Atlanta is the fools that bring in. He said, we do it to ourselves. We bring in we in the drugs and the guns and the. I was like, wow.
You know what?
Wow.
Yeah, that's so stressful.
Speaking of Cop City, let's give it up for Kamal K. Franklin.
Hey.
Right on time.
Yeah, we need Kamal. I said Kamal got put in work. Atlanta sending up the wretched is coming up to my classroom.
Oh, I saw you there.
I sent them a text, Lucretia, Jackie. I sent them a text. I said, "Ear Doctor Kalaji, Kamal, get your Atlanta together." This dude is in my class. I was like, "Oh, this dude is in my class, going crazy."
How did you let that one escape, Kamal? How?
I don't know how he did it. I don't know how my teachings. The teachings of the Honorable Kamal K. Franklin. I'm gonna get a book together. I'm gonna get me a book. Yes.
Get you a 19 Keys hat.
Please do. Oh, please.
Clown.
Oh, please do.
We might as well make it a full house and bring DC in here. Let's give it up for no other than Kim
DC.
Brown.
You keep calling her DC. Get him, Kim. Get him, Kim.
Hey.
She's not DC. She's not DC.
I'm from Maryland. Maryland.
Is it the same?
Maryland.
And not even really the black part of Maryland. I'm an outside the Beltway nigga as opposed to an inside the Beltway nigga. There's a difference.
So wait a minute. So what is Jay and y'all? When y'all is Baltimore? Jackie, you Baltimore?
No,
or
Give that to Jara.
Yeah, let's get this.
You're
straight.
DC.
All wrong.
Jackie's
All
DC.
wrong.
I can't even. It's not even fair to. I work in Baltimore.
Yes,
but I leave.
That's your prejudice.
But I
All right,
leave.
Let's get this straight.
daily.
So Kim is Maryland.
Maryland.
Ball Maryland. Okay. Ball is DC.
No.
And Jack.
No. Ball is Maryland
No.
too.
Ball is Maryland. Oh, you're
Ball-
Maryland.
No,
Kim and
those
Ball-
two,
Ball
Kim
is-
and Ball are Maryland.
Ball and
Maryland.
Brown.
I
Brown
am
and
Ball
Ball.
and Brown and
You're
Ball
DC
and Maryland.
proper. Lukeman is DC.
Yes, I
Lukman.
am DC.
So
Is
who's on first
Washingtonian.
base?
Exactly.
Who's
Lucretia.
Jackie?
Am I too young for that reference?
No.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Okay.
I'm too young. Kamal
All of
is
us
even
are
too young for that reference.
Too young for that, Lucretia.
I got it on the second. No, I mean maybe.
Yes,
Yeah,
you are.
yeah,
Because that
yeah.
what
No,
was that? That
we're-
was Abbott and
Abbott and
Costello.
That's
Yeah, that's
1930s movies.
Oh,
You're
love
too young
it.
for that.
Okay.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third.
Yes.
Yes, that was a famous routine.
That was
Love
Yeah.
it.
But when I was a kid on Saturday mornings, it took me years before I realized that those cartoons were made back in the day. I was like, they made that Bugs Bunny like yesterday. I know it's black and white, but that's yesterday. No, we watching old. They had us growing up on old ancient cartoons.
Yeah. I'm not even. I'm talking about the Saturday in the morning, the movies, the Abbott and Costello movies.
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah.
Same thing. That's right.
Three
That's right.
Stooges. That used to
Yeah.
come on
Yeah,
too.
You never got into them.
Yeah.
You never got into them.
No.
Three Stooges.
Abbott and Costello. I didn't like Laurel and Hardy.
Oh,
The Three Stooges. My Saturday mornings were Abbott and Costello, little movie. You know what I'm
Soul
saying?
Train.
And then Little Soul Train.
Pokemon.
And then later on in the years, at 3 o'clock, there was the Kung Fu movie on Channel 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I gotta admit, I never understood Pokemon. I never.
You had to be
I
there, I
know.
guess.
Yeah, I missed that whole
I
thing.
think you had to be there.
I was like, what is the kids watching? What the hell?
Animaniacs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Animaniacs. Yeah, I remember my little ones, not my little ones, my nieces watching Animaniacs and the like. Because they're about, how old are you, Lucretia? Are you mid-30s, early 30s? Yeah.
You're in your 30s?
Yeah.
I thought you were like 12, B.
Oh, no.
I thought you were like 23,
No,
24
but
years
someone the
old.
other day was like, when do you graduate high school? And I was like, oh my God, thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is this.
That was really sweet.
Take that as the complimentary
You
word.
do,
man.
yeah. So then there's no excuse for you to have the bed in behind you then. So you should
Why are you still echoey, Kamal? Just take him off the screen.
He just can't.
Is that better? Is that better?
No, it's not.
He said, "Why did you stand up your mattress?"
So
That's messed
rude.
up. Kamal is terrible.
Awful.
So
Oh my
rude.
goodness, why in the box spring though? All right, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break and we go right here on the Remix Morning Show, and we're gonna come back with some news and some other things right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
Black Power Media, let's go.
How I ain't had that song already? All right. Welcome out. Yeah. This is no other than the Remix Morning Show right here on Black Power Media. You just get in here, go ahead and hit that like button. You might as well like it now because you're going to like it for the rest of the show. And then if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And go to Black Power Media to Patreon. Go to Patreon and go to Black Power Media, and we got some extra content over there y'all can check out, become members over there, and y'all see a plethora of stuff. That's right, plethora. I use big words sometimes. Keep up. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about the weather real quick. Let's start off in no other than ATL. Today it's going to be cloudy, but a high of 96 degrees. It's going to be John days outside. So with that said, let's take it to DC. They got a high today of 83 degrees. Next, let's take it to Chicago, 79 degrees. It's gonna be a little warm up there, so y'all don't be wilding out there on the blocks. All right, next let's take it to Houston. They got a high today also of 96 degrees. Gonna be mad hot. Next, let's take it to Los Angeles. They got a high of 78 degrees. And somebody in the comments says, I don't be shouting out Oakland. Oakland also around 78 degrees. So big up to Oakland, the Bay Area and all that. All right, next let's take it to Trinidad and Tobago. They got a high today of 90 degrees. And speaking of 90 degrees, let's last but not least go to Mongo, Chad in Africa. They got a high of 90. Now that's pretty hot. I tell you what else is hot. When you mix a hurricane and a earthquake, which is going on right now over in Southern California. They got a tropical storm, and there have been tropical storm like this for more than 80 years. I have a magnitude of 5.1. This earthquake shocked residents when it shook parts of Ventura and Los Angeles. And it also hit a magnitude of 3.0 with the aftershocks. So they had like 6 of these aftershocks. So it was mad wild over there. So blessings and big up, and do what you can for the people in Cali that's dealing with this. And that is what's going on with the weather in the world. All right. Well, not the world, at least over here in America. Well, I did say the world. I did get to Africa. All right. Other than that, let's go ahead and get back to the Remix Morning Crew. You know how we do. Let's go. Ghetto heaven. All right.
Nice.
So,
What?
How you
So
doing?
do you have something against Oakland? Because you did kind of say that with a little teeny bit of contempt there. What
oh no, I love the Bay Area. Big up,
against Oakland, B?
big up to the Bay Area. I love everything they contribute to the culture. You know,
The
what I'm
Yay
saying?
area.
Yeah, the Yay area.
Like what?
Uh,
Like what?
all the wonderful cocaine references. They like the Yay area. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That whole hyphy sound.
oh, the funk. Come on, let's not play
funk.
games with the East Bay funk now.
That's
Home of the Panthers, home of the Panthers, the Black
Yes,
Panther
sir.
Party.
Tony. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay, that's a weird connection, but okay, I'm gonna take it.
And I believe we just had a birthday yesterday, didn't we?
Wait, don't forget. Wait, real quick before we celebrate the birthday, don't forget while you shouting out Oakland
Okay.
that this also is the home or the birthplace of the aforementioned leading cultural thought leader, 19 Keys.
Oh boy.
Right.
Don't forget.
Wow.
I
All
really
praises
think y'all are
due.
going to make me find out who 19 Keys is. I have been so content not knowing who this individual. I'm like, who was that? Alicia Keys producer?
Your
Well,
life
but
is
stay in your contentment. Stay in your
Your life is
contentment.
incomplete, Kim.
The comedy.
Culture's leading thought leader.
Mm.
You need to get your life right.
Don't mess up
Read-
your contentment. No.
Basically, he stole Elijah Muhammad's kufi, and he
Yeah, he stole some of his rap.
And
Stole.
been
he's
prospering,
just-
huh?
He's just a hodgepodge, and his boy. Oh man, the petty. I had all the popcorn out the other day over on Black Capitalists supporting JT, the Pocket Watchers platform, when he went in and his crew went in on 19 Keys when they had one of his former partners with the Black World Order crew come on and expose all the fraudulence of that organization. And called out 19 Keys and all of it. I was over there. I mean, just involved in pump and dump crypto scams and coming into the crew claiming he's going to bring a value of culture and mindset, leadership. And they were like, bruh. You ain't bruh. And they were showing text message exchanges and dude, it's like,
Damn.
and it's like, nigga, you ain't hit. And it's like, this is your leadership? Could you imagine seeing a text exchange between King and Malcolm or Elijah Muhammad? And they like,
Letters.
nigga, you ain't it. Man, kiss my ass. Get the check. I got the bag. I was like, oh my God, that joint was hilarious. And I was on that. I think I was there for a good 90 minutes straight, just cracking up. Just like, this is better than any comedy. This is better than anything Hollywood could present for entertainment. It was just beautiful.
This is also why you got to know who you're rolling with, and you can, no matter how much we fight, and behind the scenes, a lot of us have different kinds of fights. We could never have our text messages exposed. You know what I'm saying? What that would be like if some of these text messages were exposed? They'd be like, oh, damn.
No, how y'all talk about Lucretia? Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
We already
All right,
talked about me live.
I know. It's like,
So
no,
imagine the text.
I'm still
anyway.
stressed about that wallpaper.
What are you stressed about?
Wow. My Dollar Tree wallpaper. Okay.
You
Like,
know.
listen.
Wow.
Listen.
No.
Leave
I
it
like it. I like
alone.
it. In gen, I do like it. No. I
No.
When
like it.
COINTELPRO exposes all these texts, Kamal's gonna look really bad. Kamal gonna
I
look
know,
crazy.
B. Ooh. I gotta get my image up again or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm old. I don't. This is why I don't believe in texting. I don't believe in voice notes and none of that because that's just evidence. Like you're gonna have to record my phone conversation like a regular old ass nigga. Okay, like I'm not.
Back
I'm
in
like,
the day.
I am not.
No, Kim will pop up in your StreamYard meeting and be like, look here, motherfucker. Look at me in my eye on the camera, motherfucker, while I tell you what it is. There ain't no writing nothing.
That's true. That is Kim's way.
Yeah,
I did download a
but-
recording
with it.
like just for that, just for the phone thing, because I was like, how do you record on your phone? Damn it! Like it's not like natural. So I did download a little app just for that, for future references or
You
whatever.
downloaded an app, but you have a
I've
voice
never-
recorder on the phone.
So I can record. Yeah, I've never done it, but I was like, I feel like I need to have that. Just in
There's a
case.
voice recorder on your phone already.
That's what I.
No, I didn't
I'm
know
not
that.
recording
I didn't
phone
know that.
conversations
Wow,
because
Kamal.
I didn't know that.
he's
I'm not
a
gonna
he's
come
a
Well-
intelligence gatherer.
person.
I'm
But
waiting.
like-
I was waiting.
No, I don't do that.
You don't?
But like I had to remind one of
No.
my former Morgan State colleagues a couple years ago, Maryland is a two-party consent
Tell him,
state.
Jared. I was about to say it. Tell him for the people in the back, please.
Yeah. Two-party consent state. You record me without my consent, you go to jail.
Jail,
Oh, wow.
nigga. And they put white people in jail for that shit. They put Linda
they-
Tripp in jail for that shit.
They put white
They put white
in
people in jail for that shit. Don't play.
My
don't play
Colombian
games.
That's
neighbor,
how serious
Linda
that one
Tripp.
is.
That's
You
They
cannot
put my
record.
Columbia, they put my white Columbia neighbor in jail. Linda Tripp is a Columbia representative. And they put her white ass in
Right in
jail.
jail.
See
That's
how she
right.
went to jail for it though? She
That's
did
what she went
time.
to
Yeah.
jail for?
She
Yeah.
got yeah.
You have to in Maryland each party needs to be aware that the conversation is being recorded. One party cannot be recording surreptitiously unbeknownst to the other. Like, nope, don't play that
And
shit.
by the
Don't
way,
try it.
it's not just for the phone. You can, because this was the point of me looking up this law. Because you can be in a meeting, you could be in a faculty meeting, and if you don't have the consent of all the people involved to get that recording, it's illegal. So I was like, "Why are you recording this faculty meeting?
Wow.
Why your phone on?"
They can't
What
wait
if-
for you to get a better job or get another offer. They can't wait.
But
rid
good,
of
lucky
this
for them, I
bug.
can't. Luckily for them, I seem to not be able to. So I be trying. Don't get it twisted. I be sending my little applications, my little cover letters. I'm like, we all trying, Kamal. We're like, it's mutual.
See, I think you got to show them your social media following, Jared. I think you're going to have to be coming with your social media numbers, your engagement numbers. You're going to have to be leading with that, like your resume, your credentials, all that. Your reputation precedes you. So
Yeah, that's not always a positive though.
I
That's
know
the
that.
thing. Like,
It's
they
once
like, yeah,
they
we
start
know you,
calling them.
motherfucking.
It's once they start calling the Morgan State faculty and the management, they're like, that nigga.
Actually,
Let me get the file out. They're gonna be like, let's get the file out on this dude.
And every time they send me my tiny little paycheck, it's a little reminder. It's a bi-weekly reminder. It's every 2 week. F this motherfucker. Take your little sprinkling.
Or take your
anyway.
book. Take your book.
Please. And as soon as I come in there, I got a better offer. You gonna imagine they're gonna be like, hell no.
hell no.
Get the hell out of here. You better
We're gonna
take
send
it.
Mr. Clarence to your office to help you pack it up, Jared.
It's already packed.
I was gonna say, what office? What
My
office?
daughter walked in there yesterday and was like, where is everything? I was like, I got a go bag. I'll stay ready to go. I don't put nothing in this joint no more.
He's like, why don't you have pictures of your family on
Not
your
a
desk?
goddamn
Yes,
thing.
because-
Literally, it's not a goddamn. If I didn't bring it in with me that morning, there's not a thing in that joint.
Yep. So I don't have to pack it when the time comes.
I'm done. Oh, right to site.
I guess we could get to the news.
Oh, damn
wow.
no.
Your
Oh,
help,
damn
Mr.
no.
Taskmaster. Okay.
Damn.
Jeez.
Good morning, remixers, Black Power Media consumers. We are so excited to see you. It is the Remix Morning Show. Today is Tuesday, August the 22nd, big 2023. Shout out to the Virgos. I believe this is Virgo season on today or possibly tomorrow. Leos, we had a good run. Y'all did y'all thing out here this summer. I seen you, but it's time for Virgo season. Time for shit to get organized. time for plans to be successfully executed. Shout out to the Virgos. I love y'all. Love y'all. We have a great show for you today. Check out this full screen of black folks on here. Y'all admire this. Take a screenshot. Put this out on your social medias. Look at all these beautiful black folks. We got Jacqueline Lukman, Kamal Franklin, Dr. Jared Ball, Lucretia Williams, Kim Brown, the ear doctor, ready to give it to y'all on this good Tuesday morning. Remixers, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Engage with the channel. We knocking on 30,000 subscribers. And shout out to all our patrons. You want to support the channel, do so. Patreon.com/Black Power Media. Can I big up real quick to our good brother, Kalonji Chonga? I, over the weekend, watched the Dream Hampton interview. And when I tell you, I watched it twice. It was that damn good. Kalonji did such a masterful job of interviewing Dream. I have been a lifelong stan of Dream Hampton since I was about 12, 13 years old. And he brought things out of her that I didn't know that she did. I was aware of her organizing work, but not to the extent of her organizing work. Dream Hampton does not give a lot of interviews. I've never heard her laugh that much. I didn't even realize what an awesome laugh she had. And that just said that she was comfortable with the comrade that she was on screen with. So I wanted to big up Kalonji for an outstanding interview with Dream, and big up to Dream Hampton always, because Dream dropped some new gots and some gems on niggas too. But shout out to Kalonji for doing an outstanding job with one of my personal idols. So thank you, Kalonji.
Wow, you said since 13?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when she was writing for The Source,
Oh, wow.
I had a subscription to The Source. That column that she wrote and supported D. Barnes, the RESPECT, I remember reading that
I remember that.
at like 12, 13. So no, Dream Hampton has been a very huge, very, very, very big influence on me as a woman in hip hop culture, you know. And some of the things that she said, I didn't even, when we did our recap of Ladies First, I'm like, oh damn, like I feel like I'm listening to myself. Dream said she tapped out of rap in like 2000. I tapped out at 08. I didn't even know she tapped out until she said it with Kalonji. So yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that
Dream's
was a
amazing.
good interview.
Hey, before we get to the news real quick, Lucretia, they got a war going on in the chat room about pizza. Chicago over New York. What's your take?
Well, I'm from Chicago. I was saying in the chat, I grew up with deep dish, so y'all can cancel me. I find it to be real pizza. I enjoy it. Pizza pie, you know. So that's it. You can take me with my deep dish. That's it.
Woo.
Mhm.
New Yorkers think way too highly of their pizza, and I'm
They do.
There's a reason for that, though. But there's a
It's
reason
bad.
for that.
That's right.
There's a
I
reason
gotta
for
Delicious.
agree with them on that because it is the shit. It is.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is
It's
the
New
best.
York.
Yeah.
It's a New York
good,
pizza.
but
But it's not the
always
only
is.
place. Yeah.
No. It really is. It
And if
really
you
is.
want to take a real shit, then you eat some Chicago pizza with all that cheese.
Damn.
But
That
I still like it, so I don't know. It's still delicious.
Back in the day when you go to the club and you after the club and you need your first meal, if the diner ain't close by, you go grab you some pie. That was the thing. Pizza pie, that is. All through, yeah.
yeah,
And it
I
had
agree.
the rat footprints in it. I mean,
Oh,
there's even. Oh wow!
Did you say rat print?
she did.
I'm bad.
Damn.
You're a hater.
Shush! I know where I'm at, y'all. I know DC is rat capital.
You're
I
a
understand
hater
that.
of
I don't
everything
care.
positive in the world, B.
I'm
Everything
still
positive in the
cracking New
world.
York
A
rat
hater.
jokes. Come on,
Hater.
stop.
Oh my God.
I
Even
know
my
you're not
favorite.
Takes one to know one. Come out.
Woo,
You calling me a hater, B? Come on.
Even
We all
my
have
favorite
to-
white boy R.M. Brown got his clip about the conservative white dude that I happen to agree with. Where you talking about give me pizza or give me was there some apparently some conservative pizza movement in New York that he clipped and turned into a meme. I don't really know the background of it, but the guy was there was some protest. Apparently there was some right-wing claim of a conspiracy against pizza in New York or something. I don't know. And he was up there like, give me pizza or give me death. and you know, pizza, New York is pizza's freedom and all this other kind of stuff. It was anyway,
Pizza
whatever.
is freedom.
Yeah, it was just
God
wild.
damn.
There's something.
This wasn't connected to the Pizzagate foolishness, was it?
I don't think this was, but I'm honestly not sure. And I just know it was specific to New York and pizza. So I thought the Pizzagate thing was a DC area pizza. Wasn't it a DC area?
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know. So
Yeah.
but so I don't know if it was that, but it was yeah, Chianti, I don't know, man. I like R.M. Brown. He's my favorite white newsman, so to speak, and I see his clips when he does that kind of stuff. That's he's my new Chomsky.
Chomsky ain't dead, son.
But I did want to say because one of the stories he kind of is.
He's
he
dead.
kind of
to-
is.
he's dead
He
to a lot
kind of
of
is
people.
intellectually. Yeah, he kind of is.
After
But-
it was exposed that he was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
He was dropping some science.
trying to get some MIT
That wasn't
funding.
the only
Yeah,
thing
that he
okay,
was talking about.
yeah. But I did to follow up on what Kim said because I do want to co-sign Kim's point about Kalonji's interview with Dream. and and there's a story that I wanted to bring up today, the new I think New Yorker piece about No Name that I think was a fascinating read, and there's an overlap in some of what I heard in terms of the struggle with an appreciation for hip hop, how to be an activist while trying to have some sort of career either in music or elsewhere. She didn't say it this way, but like Dream, when she said, I really appreciated her point when she was asked by Kalonji about hip hop being revolutionary, and she said she never thought it was revolutionary. And even some of the tension that I had even hoped we could even maybe hear a little bit from Kamau on around the Black August hip hop, because she mentions you, Kamau, saying basically you were never really feeling the whole Black August hip hop thing. You were always a little skeptical about its value in radicalized. That's sort of how, if I remember correctly, how she put it. That you and with MXGM were on another side of the work. Like you were like, she was like, yeah, he was doing Cop Watch and all this other kind of stuff. He was like, y'all could do the little rap stuff if you want to, but then when you read this piece, and I'll stop here and let you get in, but if we can get to it at some point, when you look at this piece from No Name, I think it's kind of deep, what she's saying here about her own struggles with art and activism, and sort of staying in the game, so to speak. So anyway, I just to co-sign what Kim said about that interview, and anyway, her point to you about you, Kamau, which I thought was funny.
I think that, I was a huge helper of like the Black August hip hop stuff, but I was never like the lead because I didn't know the artist. People like Dream and other folks who had those connections to the artists, so they got all the artists to perform. So I was down, but I was down with Black August. I certainly wouldn't consider myself like sort of I just was never, I'm not a purist. So I did think that stuff that they were doing was good stuff in a lot of ways. I thought it was potentially politicizing folks. But my main work was never like, it was like they're artists, like, and anytime you go into the so-called green room and the same cats who are on stage to saying one thing and everybody's, they got I'm not going to name names or whatever, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and it ain't.
All the rumors are scandalous.
Oh, it ain't all that revolutionary. Woo. So it's like,
and then be in the back like, where the bitches at? I've seen it, dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Some polls up,
where the hoes at? And then get backstage. Where the hoes at? Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There was one. I think I have told the story one time. Well, and I think this is like most one time. He performed, I swear to you, he performed on Black August for like 3 hours. And the rumor was he didn't want to get off the stage because he might have been hit with either a child support thing or the ex was in the audience. We were like, damn, he's doing a long set. This is great, but damn, this is like the 9th song. This nigga need to get off. We need to go home.
He's peeking out to the crowd like, I think I'm gonna go deeper into my catalog and doing let's reflect on my earlier work.
It's like he's doing his own concert. But Black August raised a lot of money for political prisoners. So that was fantastic. And if folks don't know, like, we took trips with the artist to Cuba, some other places also. That was fantastic. And if anything, I'll stop here. When the folks who started it wanted to end it, and kind of gracefully like leave it alone, I was actually an advocate for trying to make it go on and on and on kind of thing. So there was a lot of value, I thought, in terms of hitting folks who wouldn't have gotten politicized, but they was all into the music, or they wouldn't have known what organization to join. But that was primarily in the hands of some other folks, I feel like, who took the lead. People like Dream, folks that some of us know, like Lumumba, Monifa, and some other folks who were the real like sort of out front organizers of it. And there were people like me in the background who was doing some things. But yeah, I was like the artist things, like, I don't know who these cats are. Yeah.
Thanks again, ZZ. Kamau and Ear Doctor, who's in charge of the Patreon t-shirt. Connecticut is the pizza capital, not New York or the shot. Connecticut is the pizza capital, son. We appreciate your contributions to the channel, but come on now.
Is that
No,
Kalonji under his
that was
burner?
No, ZZ Lion Dad.
Right, that Kalonji under his.
Kalonji
I was like,
walked in,
exactly.
Lion Dad's count?
If I hadn't met ZZ in person in Atlanta, I might believe that was Kalonji, but they're clearly on some Connecticut shadiness nonsense.
I've
The
never
one
heard
thing-
of that before. Connecticut?
But just quickly, the one thing that Dream said that made the only thing she said that made my eyebrow really almost pop up off my forehead is, in the one hand, she's talking about the misogyny in hip hop, but then she talks about her friendship with Jay-Z. And that's where I was like, how does that? That was the only time I was like, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I get it, because your niggas are your niggas. Like, you have to, you have to look at the entry point in which they met, right? Like, Jay-Z wasn't no big poppin' rapper at the time. And in fact, like, to her point, she was, giving accolades to Reasonable Doubt. I love Reasonable Doubt as an album.
Oh, no
because
doubt.
It's so cinematic.
Indeed,
Like, it's,
absolutely.
oh my God. And, the misogyny was kind of minimal. I'm sure it was there, but it wasn't. He wasn't leading with it per se, right? So I get that. Like, one of my dearest friends is a giant capitalist, right? But I remember when he was poor, you understand? And the way that he manages his resources, I have respect for. But whatever my politics are, and be like, you like, that's your boy. I'm like, yeah, that's my boy, yo. Like, that's my man's, like, going back. So I got that part of it. When sometimes your friends are actually your friends. Like, people do go out in the world and go different directions, but that core friendship at their base level, they are still them. You know what I mean?
That's like me and Andre Dickens.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
No, it's more like us and our friendship with Ear Doctor.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it's like. That's it
That's
precisely.
exactly.
Grandfathered in, I think, is the
Yeah.
Mhm.
But just quickly, if we we can come back to this. If y'all don't mind, I just want to I thought this article, and I think a lot of people on this platform are familiar with No Name. At one point she had talked about doing a show on this platform, and
And she gave us some money early on.
She gave us some money. She showed support. Her book club featured my book at one point. So there's all the appreciation and all the, and this isn't, and I honestly don't have anything other than a kind of genuine fascination about this. I'm going to be using it starting even this afternoon in my hip hop class, with this story. And so I encourage people to check out the whole thing. The one part that I'll bring up for us to consider here is where I thought it was, because they really go into her career and her and basically what she's saying at this part, Fatima Warner is her real name, is where she's talking about at this part of the story is where she is and has been recently with her activism versus her art. So anyway, I just read this paragraph quickly here. If Warner had released her third album in 2020 as she had originally planned, it probably would have been a chronicle of her political radicalization. Instead, turning away from music, she attempted to practice what she was increasingly preaching. I tried to become something that I'm not. I tried to literally become an actual organizer, she said. But despite the success of the book club and its library, she became isolated and depressed. Although she didn't stop believing in revolution, she did stop believing that she was the right person to bring it about. I do believe that in terms of actually achieving any level of radical change, particularly through revolution, it's going to necessitate all of us organizing, she says. Will I throw away my actual personal life so my everyday struggle is just Black liberation? I can't do it. She had an insight that felt selfish but impossible to shake, and that surely would not surprise her fans. I love making music. After a few years spent devouring books, she is taking a break from intensive political study. It got to the point where I couldn't really tell where I was, like with what my true core personal beliefs were, she says. And so Sundial of her new album evokes two conversations at once: Warner's swift and confident embrace of Black radical politics and her slower, more tentative re-embrace of music as a vocation. I don't have a relationship. I don't have kids. I don't really have much in my personal life, she says. Music is really my bag right now, end quote. And anyway, there was a lot. I went through a lot. Personally, I went through a lot of emotional reactions just reading that section, but found it fascinating and the whole piece fascinating. And then listening to the album, I don't know if any of you have heard it. but it is also very interesting and at times really good. She's clearly got skill. And then they raise in that article some of the contradictions there, like you know, what's up with Jay Electronica being on there with his pro Farrakhan, anti-Ukraine verse, and the album ending with Common, who was with Kamau and them at the Black August, commemorations at one point, and ends the album in a very, I don't know, kind of, to me, milquetoast kind of whatever. But anyway, just some thought. I thought it's fascinating. I just wanted to.
I always think that there's, like, back in the day when MXG was like the rave, the one organization that came and started getting a lot of attention was Impedum. And that was when Dead Prez was organizing politically as well as doing music, right? And their music hit hard, and everybody was like a fan, and people started joining that organization. And then somehow they also got in some struggles in terms of their work relationship and their music. And so for somebody who's really good at something else besides organizing, and that's their love, I always think there's got to be some balance, right? I don't think if you are an artist and that's your thing and that's your heart, or that's where your joy comes from, but you also politicize, and I'm not no name, but I don't see it as a choice, right? I see it as you use your art to uplift things, and you do things in your time that support the things that you believe in. And I'm sure that's what that person is doing. But if that's your love and your passion, and you figure out how, you don't have to give one up for the other, at least in my estimation, or whatever like that.
I mean, there's a section in here where she that I also struggled with, where she talks about something that I've read about for years, going back to what artists like Bob Marley and Jimi Hendrix and others have had to deal with, where asking where is their Black audience. And she's acknowledging that she has this increasingly, white audience, and she's not happy about it per se. But at the same time, as she says in the article, I want to go on tour. So she's almost acknowledging this thing, like, if I want to have the career I want to have, I got to have a white audience, which is what all Black people in all forms of business end up ultimately realizing, which is why they end up selling out as soon as they, literally selling their business, as soon as they can. But I just thought, and then I did feel like I went back and forth, internally with critique to empathy, I guess, between, this idea, like, because I get it. When activism, trying to be an activist can, as you all can, be tiring, can wear you out, can be emotionally exhausting. It can be a detriment to your career. But then the whole thing that I often associate, at least with artists, saying this whole thing, I'm gonna dip back out and do, just do my thing, and then I'll dip back in later, and is a little frustrating to me. I admit I've had a frustration with that, because the rest of us, particularly when it comes to academics, and I get defensive around this too, is that we're expected to throw ourselves onto the fire. You know what I mean? Like, my career, burn that joint up, nobody cares about an academic's career, but an artist seems to get, I feel like they get, because we all love the delicate geniuses, as George Costanza once called it. Like, they get to do, they get to, I just come back later with a, but at the same time, I'm like, this is why you need to be an organization, and that we need to build up organizations, because this I'm gonna try to do it on my own and support on my own, and it's not sustainable. So anyway,
and, the thing about her not liking that she has a white audience, that's really not what she said, and I think we need to be clear on that. She said that she's bothered that her audience is full of white people who are not dealing with their own white supremacist racial contradictions. They're not doing the work that even is presented in some of her music, and she knows that. And people just kind of took that as she don't want white people in her audience. That's not what she said.
I'm your good point. I'm bringing it up here just from the article where She said, "Unfortunately, I'm not going to keep performing for predominantly white crowds." She tweeted at one point, and then she said, "Anyway, good point. I'll just leave it for you. I'll leave it there. We don't have to."
It's interesting to me, like, when I remember back in the day, our day, Jay, like, Chuck D, right? So Public Enemy, and we wrapped a whole lot of stuff around what we thought Public Enemy was. And in the end, what I feel like I learned later on is like they were really just a band. So, they weren't, if No Name already has probably done more organized, outside looking in, has already done more overt organizing than it felt like Public Enemy ever did, right? But there was a time where Public Enemy kind of artistry-wise, music-wise, kind of was like an anthem of a resurgence of a sort of a Black Power, if not movement, like at least a Black Power sort of aesthetic that was within sort of like the Black community. And obviously there was a lot of so-called conscious rap at that time too, but Public Enemy sort of rose to a certain point. The thing about No Name, again, outside looking in, I don't know the sister personally. I've never spoken to her or anything like that. She, at the very least, even if she takes some steps, I think, folks should be an organization. I completely agree with that. Like that's really how you get your work done. And I think in a proper organization, people allow you to say, these are the attributes that you bring, and ask you to bring those attributes, but don't, somebody like that, unless they somehow have decided to do it, should not necessarily be taking on day-to-day task of like moving your organization. It's just not, particularly if they've already reached a certain level of fame and they're trying to maintain that or maintain a certain work ethic in terms of their music career or their artistry or whatever. There are just certain things that they can do, but they're not necessarily should be expected to be, overt leadership within an organization, but they can play a role and they can play a productive role. And so I always saw, so I always battle too of like what you said around the empathy of like, hey, this person, whatever, and also the critique of like, you can do both, B. You can figure it out. It's not an either or whatever.
Yeah.
But just quickly, just to clear, because I did want to. Jackie's point is a good one, and I just wanted to. And I know we got Ear Doctor coming, but just quickly here from what to clarify what she was saying and what I was referring to, because she said something that reminded me of what Killer Mike was saying when we were having our exchanges. That just this line about the tap dance. She said, Warner, that is No Name, told me, the interviewer here. Even now, she can't help but feel as if hip-hop industry is full of Black performers who are tap dancing for the pleasure of white consumers and the profit of white-owned companies. I want rappers to make money, so that's the conundrum, she says. That's why I still tap dance my damn self. One afternoon, she was talking to me about the powerful appeal of mainstream validation. She said, as Black artists, I'm just wondering, will we ever let that go? Because she was talking about her own struggle with the contradiction of signing her first actual, I think, mainstream contract, the touring and the support that allows for. But then, and then she also says that, to your point, Jackie, part of her frustration is that whites coming to see her are not going to necessarily turn around and she references settler colonialism tomorrow. So I thought that was a clear sign she had been in those BAP circles for a minute, that she threw in a reference to settler colonialism. But anyway, so my point is, I just thought the joint was a fascinating read, especially in the context of this 50th anniversary, Black August, all the things that are supposedly happening right now. Anyway, so
but can we talk? I mean, like the first 25 years of hip hop culture, of rap music, from my opinion, and you guys can maybe correct me on this, like, I'm sorry, I didn't see the artists trying to get white validation. They was out there rapping for their hoods, and even those big rap tours of the mid to late 80s. Correct me, wasn't it? I mean, those were mostly Black audiences. They doing stadium tours, right? Arena tours. Like, they wasn't out there doing it for the white folks or the white dollar. They was out there doing it for the people that they made their music, the folks of which out of the communities they came. So that the whole issue of looking for mainstream validation, that's a recent rap problem.
There was a moment where the transition did occur. You're absolutely right. And increasingly there was even, one of my favorite tracks from EPMD was the crossover. They're calling it out. They're saying, stop doing this. That was even Third Base calling out Vanilla Ice and Hammer. Like, there was, you're exactly right. But by now, by the time No Name's generation for sure, and the people she probably grew up listening to came into vogue, the corporate consolidation, the Post Telecom Act that Ear Doctor and Minister Server correctly brought up in their discussion, all of that had already taken effect. And the cap that is put on the earnings when your target audience is exclusively or predominantly Black was made clear. And they were like, this is what you make if your audience is all Black, even if it's in arenas. And this is what you make when you bring in the whites. And they were like, let's go. And there we are.
And isn't that the history of all Black culture
Absolutely.
or artistry,
All
right?
business,
That's the
period.
history.
All business, period.
Yeah.
Right. And just to be clear, 'cause I was looking for the tweet where that people are getting wrong. And this is it. On November 28th, No Name tweeted a picture of a woman in a clown makeup. The caption read, "Me consistently creating content that is primarily consumed by a white audience who would rather shit on me than challenge their liberalism because somehow liking Lizzo's music absolves them of racist tendencies." And then she tweeted the next day, clarified her thinking in a series of posts. And one, she wrote about how other artists have more diverse crowds than she does, including Megan Thee Stallion, DaBaby, and Smino as examples. And another, she said, "What's funny is most Black artists are just as uncomfortable performing for majority white crowds, but would never publicly say that out of fear and allegiance to money." She continued, "When I go to work, thousands of white people scream the word nigga at me, and no, I'm not changing my art, so it is what it is." So that is what she said. So I just wanted to clear up that she did not just say, "I don't like performing for white audiences. Fuck y'all. I don't like white people in my audiences." That's not what she said.
Well, I would say it's a conundrum, because it's like it's a conundrum
How
because
long you been practicing for when?
listen, I just looked at the thesaurus and everything, but it's a conundrum because it's like you're dealing with nowadays. You don't make no money off streaming. You only really make money off the audience, and the only people that's out there paying $50 and $100 for tickets is who? Not us. So therefore, you're gonna have an audience out there that don't look like us, and the artists ain't making no money, a penny maybe off of streaming. So they gotta be like, all right, how am I gonna survive in this music industry?
It gets us throughout Beyonce. Is Beyonce's audience still mostly Black though? For those of y'all who go to concerts and everything,
it is. It is. She got a hive.
It can't be. There's no superstar whose audience is primarily Black.
But she still has a large Black, unlike a No
large
Name.
one. Yeah, but if you go to, I can't
Beyonce might
imagine
be
if
the exception.
She's the exception because you go to
She's the
her
exception.
concerts. There's nothing but Black people in there. I haven't seen.
how could that
white crowd.
be? That can't be. That's
I mean,
physically,
Queen.
but it's economically impossible. It's numerically impossible. That can't be true.
Jared, you can afterpay these concert tickets these days. You can put the concert tickets on layaway.
On
believe it or not.
installment. Yeah.
But even physically, the numbers. I'm not even talking about the money. There's not that many Black people to be
40 million Black people in the United States. That's enough to
every
fill up half of
single
your
one
crowd.
is literally every
Half of
single
your
Black
crowd,
person
half of
going
her
to
crowd.
every show.
Every time I see a video posted online, it's Black folks at Beyonce.
All of
Yeah,
it.
Okay.
there are Black
Okay.
people there, but the crowd.
I'm not
is
saying exclusively, but
pejoratively, the crowd isn't majority Black. The audiences are not majority Black across the.
She don't
Which may
tour in
not go
Europe.
around for
She don't
record
have a
sales.
tour in
Yeah,
Europe.
she tours in Europe.
Well,
She's
that's
a
different. Well,
tour in
that's
Europe.
Oh, that's different.
No, I meant within the United States. No. I definitely agree with that. Worldwide,
Okay.
yeah.
But even I'm just playing. It don't. But yeah, I hear you.
It does matter because I think Beyonce is a qualified exception and for American audiences, right? Like it's important because I was just I'm not really a big fan of her music, but listening her catalog is not a lot of crossover hits. Like in her earlier career, she did a lot of
Gotten Black.
crossover stuff, but now like it's like she makes music exclusively for Black women. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, her stuff does it. Like even when I listen, like we talk about the Post stuff, right? They played like the pop music. When Beyonce's album was out and her, she was dropping singles, that was rarely played, as opposed to like the Taylor Swift shit. Every fucking 5 seconds, I gotta listen to a new Taylor Swift song. I can't, y'all. I got my kids being like, she's terrible. It's like, yes, she is. Let's turn that shit off and go someplace else, whatever. But every 5 seconds, they big her up. But I was gonna say also, like Public Enemy at one point complained. I remember they had a huge white audience at one point, right? Like they whether purposely or not, like you said, like when the audience kind of came to hip hop, right? The audience and the industry, and again, just like other places. And it did, and they may not, white folks didn't swallow up all the politics, of course, but whatever they could get away with or whatever they liked, whatever it was, they ran to hip hop. And I think, and that this is probably even a decades old, that most people do say something similar. It's like the album sales. When you look at like this now, it's a different industry, as your doctor was pointing out, but when they started looking at the album sales, like maybe 10, 20 years ago, you would find the majority of the record buyers were white for hip hop. It wasn't like a black audience anymore.
Woo. Back to the conundrum. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's just like
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for the correct usage of that word. I'm so very proud of you.
It's like Denzel Washington was telling another actor, it was like, be careful about your first role, because when you step out there, people gonna put you in this box. So then you got certain artists that will stay away from politics and they can jump all over the place. But if you hear Missy Elliott or Drake talking about politics, you're like, whoa, well, get back in your box. So people put certain people in boxes and they can't get out.
Some people are bad.
But also remember, Denzel's advice is for. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I was just saying some people don't have. They should maybe stay in the box.
And Denzel was prescribing a successful career in Hollywood. He wasn't prescribing a successful presentation of radical politics in your art. So I mean, remember he started off playing the son in that silly comedy, the son of that white dude.
Oh, yeah,
like,
Carbon Copy.
Carbon Copy. Yep, that's it. So you got to remember, yeah. And then he went on to play two of my favorite people in world history in horribly inappropriate films, Biko and Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, right?
And then he went on, to do a whole bunch of, kind of silly stuff. Like it's not,
But
so
Spike, I know we're all over the place now, but the Malcolm X joint was really Spike Lee's fault. He wasn't bad as Malcolm.
I'm not saying he was bad in his job. He's a great actor. That's part of my problem. But he's portraying horribly politically, historically, anti-historical, and then he's in that Biko film that's about the white dude who wrote the book about Donald Woods. I was like, come on, man, stop. We gotta
he get killed like a third through the movie, not even like.
Yeah, he was done. They white Biko out so they could tell the story about the white family that told his story. That was because it was based on the white boy's book. Which I stupidly read once upon a time when I used to think it was important to read all this shit. I was like, I read the damn ass book and then watched the stupid ass movie, and then I was like, damn it. I mean,
still mad. That's how bad
still mad, clearly.
It was because I know it was just in the news. It was the white South African political version of Sandra Bullock's film about old boy and the football team. Like that's really what it was. I saved you. I told your story. I got the word out about Biko. I
was persecuted for it.
I had to run with my family.
Look at what happened to me.
Yeah, I was like, you better get the hell out of here. Anyway.
Big up to all our white savior movies.
Yeah.
They always save us at the end.
That's what we need. What's the top 5 white savior films?
Movies?
Blind Side is the top white savior film.
Which one?
Is?
The Blind Side.
That's definitely top. One of the top.
I don't know.
Man, that's hard. Ooh.
There's that Blood Diamond joint. Remember with DiCaprio?
Oh yeah.
Hey, listen, y'all think about it.
They got to bring in television. Different Strokes was nothing but white saviors.
Different Strokes. The saviors of the orphans, the black
What you talking about,
orphans.
Kim? What you talking about?
Well, had one of the most bangingest theme songs though. Now the world don't move to the
That's how they get you.
down. What might be right for
Oh
you?
my goodness.
They
Yo,
not
so
Might be right, son.
a man is
Man
born.
is
He's
born. He's a man of need.
Then along come two
broke ass
got-
niggas.
They got nothing but jeans, but they got
different
strokes.
strokes. Different
That's all they got. They ain't got nothing else but
That's all they
different
got.
strokes.
Different
Broke asses.
Latchkey Kid,
The Last
baby.
Samurai
Come on,
in
turn
the
on the
chat.
TV.
Oh.
The Last Samurai.
Last
Oh,
Samurai
yes.
Wow.
Oh. Hey, so you
Dances with
Wolves.
Wolves.
Yes,
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Oh.
Hey, so y'all keep
Predator.
thinking of them. Keep thinking of them and put them in the chat. We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come
Somebody
right.
said Predator.
That's me. Stands with this. Stands with this. Yes. Stands with this.
I can't with these remixes, man. We're gonna take a quick break, come right back here. No other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah. Big up to everybody tuning in right here, right now. Please hit that like button. That's all we ask you to do. You ain't gotta pay no. Well, y'all can donate. I ain't gonna say don't do that, but go ahead and hit that like button. All new people, subscribe. Go ahead and donate. Go to Patreon.com. Become a member for Black Power Media over there. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and get to our artist spotlight today. Now, you know, I always tell y'all got an artist y'all like or y'all digging. It's pretty dope. Send it in to me. So Miss Leah Boggs actually sent in somebody that I've been peeping for a while. I just forgot her name, but she put me back on. And who I want to talk about is Samba the Goddess. She has a video right here called Intervision. So check it out right here.
I put this on the tribe, I'm a whole fucking vibe. I'm the standards redefined, rooted, decolonized, disrupted the paradigm so bitches get deified. Weight of wisdom applied, gon' get my niggas inside tonight. With the shits, I be remiss not to oblige to fight. The goddess peeling clouds back just to see the light of day. My niggas going John with a spoon to fucking coordinate. It's all black, everything, drums, bang, bang, bang.
Talking to your roots, bit, barren fruit, bit, had the juice, bitch. Who are you? We 100 proof.
Bring the drums in. Bring the drums in.
And this bit, talking to your roots, bit, barren fruit, bit, had the juice, bitch. Who are you? We 100 proof.
Guess we the ones then. Yeah, guess we the ones.
All right. So there she go. Let's go ahead and get that name back up there. That is Saba the Goddess. So go ahead and check her out. You get a chance. She got a YouTube channel. Go and check her out. Support that queen right there coming with some lyrics. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and get back to no other than the Remix Morning Crew. You know how we do. Let's go.
And she drops bars on her IG almost
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah, she
Her production game, quality and quantity is strong.
All right.
It was. I have to check it out a little bit more. I think I can get into it. I was starting to get a vibe there, but
And then I cut it, right?
It's a little weird, like the like, you know, it's real African, but it's also Brooklyn at the same, like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you're showing grills and your kente cloth kind of shit. And it's like, I
Like that,
that's
like
you,
that,
though.
Press?
I consider that a slight conundrum. A
Isn't that
conundrum.
you?
I consider that a little conundrum.
That's you, Gemini Brooklyn. That's you, dog.
I know, I agree, and I consider it a little bit of a conundrum.
Oh, he learned a word from me today. I love it.
Well, learned is a
what
strong
kind of
word.
upside
Learned.
down universe is happening right
Learned
now?
is a
I
strong word.
love it. I love
That's
it.
you, Kamal. You know, revolutionary with your gold chain swinging. That's you, dog.
I mean, ain't that part of the getting that crowd? Like, if you're like
So
was
they
the thing
say.
That was the thing with
Revolutionary but
Tupac.
gangster.
That was the thing with Tupac to be
But that
able
was
to reach.
revolutionary but gangster with Dead Prez too.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
reach a certain crowd that wouldn't regularly listen to it. That's how you do it. You dress the part sometimes. But
And
that's
then
what it
like
is.
Tupac, you get lost in the part, right? Because he got
I-
far more lost in that gangster shit than the revolutionary.
I think you know how actors say when they play a certain role that they forget how to wipe it off. Like once he played Bishop, he never wiped that off. He stayed Bishop for the rest of his career.
But
That's what Biggie said.
I mean,
Bam,
it's,
bam,
think
bam,
about it. I mean,
Now Biggie was revolutionary. Now that shit was revolutionary.
I love that.
Somebody
He
even
was laughing.
shout out to Ed,
You got straight laughed at.
in your own
Shout out.
house, son.
In my own house, exactly.
I love that you
Whenever
got
we
laughed.
talking-
I love that.
You got laughed in your face, to your face.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
just put her on the screen when we talk hip hop, man. That's it.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I just quickly, I think it's a little unfair to say because you all haven't felt caught up legitimately in a crowd you're rocking with. Like when Pac starts hanging out with the gangsters and all of that, I don't necessarily think he was playing or faking. I think he legitimately just fell in. And like, and I felt that in a few moments in my life. I'm hanging out with people that are not my, natural cohort. And I just felt like naturally, I don't feel like I was play acting, certainly not consciously, but you fall in and it's like, this is what this crowd does.
So you saying going from Digital Underground with Uchi Coochie Wa La La to Death Row?
What?
I think if you're hanging out with people and you're working with people, because I felt it in the reverse. When I'm hanging out, that's why I'm careful who I put myself in connection to, because I'm susceptible to it. It becomes natural to I think you're doing what the crew is doing. And it's not I'm trying to be phony or trying to be what I'm not. It's just becomes what you and the crew are doing. So
Yeah,
I think
don't
it could go
Pac-
that
yeah.
way,
I don't think
especially when
Pac
you're
was
that
being
young.
phony. Yeah, I think he legitimately felt like he was like your doctor said, like he was relating to street life, where he was going to politicize folks, and that was part of his bag. I just think he got caught up, or he just went one way, and he wanted to be that, or he thought, or he was that, he thought he was that, or whatever like that, to his detriment, right? To his obvious detriment, right? But I think he, whatever radical politics he also espoused within that, became lesser, or they popped up when he got quote unquote in trouble more. Like it became that kind of thing. It came maybe earlier on, it was part of his natural sort of rhythm of who he was. But later on, the more famous he got, the more money he got, the more street he got, he fell back on the politics when he got wrapped up in some shit. That's what it felt like outside looking in. His manager, was very, at one point was a Napo MXGM member. I think at one point said like he left Tupac because he was one way far too much. Like he just got caught up in that stuff and he wasn't coming back. And so he wasn't shocked at, let's say, Tupac's ultimate demise, because he just felt like getting in that lifestyle was not something that he was coming back from, or not something that he was no longer like doing it as a way in which he was politicizing these cats. If anything, they were probably influencing his politics and his life more than he was doing anything with theirs.
And then he hanging with Suge Knight, known for hanging people off the side of buildings and running over people.
Well, hold on. I mean, you say hanging with Suge Knight. Didn't Suge Knight come get him out of jail? I'm hanging
Yeah.
with whoever's getting me the fuck out of jail.
Right?
Man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if the Muslims is coming to get me. We praying 5 times a day.
Assalamu alaikum, my G.
If he's coming to get me, we doing what the gangsters are doing. Like I don't even fault him for that. He rolling with whoever gave him his freedom.
Facts.
In that, I
5
don't
more minutes in the cell, and I would have had my Quran and my bow tie. I just was 5 more
And
minutes.
your 19 keys.
All of that. I was 5 minutes away.
Oh,
No
man.
question, no doubt.
It's-
That's true. That's true.
And let us not overlook the very obvious Gemini energy. Again, I mean, y'all can believe, disbelieve, whatever. Gemini. When you see Tupac, when you see Kanye, I see the Gemini. Kamau Franklin, I see the Gemini.
The two.
Damn.
The
That's-
two.
I see
Tupac,
it.
Kanye, Kamau.
Good list. I'm out of here. I catch you on next break.
Wait a minute. No, don't go yet. Come back.
Oh shit!
Oh, I'm glad I came back for that.
I didn't expect to come back for that. I didn't call you back for that.
Please.
I'm gonna have to use the mute button more, I guess. Apparently, I was gonna also. So my Avatar was like a huge white savior.
White
Definitely.
savior movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Always.
feel it. Mm-hmm.
That's
That was
funny.
it. I was preempted.
Okay.
I can I ask y'all a question? This is not a white savior movie, but it was directed by a very problematic white man. But I really like the movie Apocalypto. I really
Ooh, that
love
That movie was trash.
Apocalypto.
That movie
And
was
people,
just fucking trash.
it was
You
trash.
bugging,
Why did
Jackie.
I enjoy
I
it?
liked it until
I can't-
I learned about Mel Gibson and like the trash of like the
I was-
politics.
Well, you want to see a Mel Gibson? Watch Braveheart. That's one of the greatest ever.
I can't
No.
front. I liked Apocalypto. I can't front.
Apocalypto
It's
was
a
good.
it's a problem historically. He does, and I've actually looked up some things, to
Yeah.
learn some things. Like he messes a lot of stuff up historically with the people.
Mhm.
But he can make a movie. Braveheart is historically ridiculous, but I like the movie. He can make a movie. Nobody said these devils can't make a
You missed the
movie.
Patriot of Mel Gibson. Oh.
Right.
You can be both a racist and a good filmmaker.
You can be both. Yeah.
You can be
Yeah.
both,
Yeah.
and
You know, the
yes.
movie
Yeah.
is entertaining and also be historically trash and entertaining and cinematically, visually great to look at. And the director and the producer also be a trash ass human being. It's all very possible thanks to Mel Gibson.
Pretty much.
Lead in the
But he
lead.
wasn't the first. He's not
That's
the
true.
first.
That's true. He's I just think he has this weird prolific catalog of The Patriot, which when you look at that movie, it's like, oh my God, can we stop with the whole American white savior bullshit? But if you take the politics out, it's like, man, that's a good it just
Yeah.
feels so, feel good, cinematic, and Apocalypto is a beautiful movie to look at cinematically. Very entertaining, lots of action, historically trash garbage ass. Just
Didn't he make the
awful.
Jesus movie too? Didn't he
He
make
made the Passion of the Christ.
He did make that.
White
right?
savior.
The Passion of
The white
Christ.
savior.
The
Real white savior.
Speaking of white savior movies, that's true.
It
That's
is
true.
the
That's number
ultimate
one.
white savior movie. It is salvation porn. It is just it's violence porn. It is the worst. Oh my God. And
Do you guys remember how many black churches were taking bus loads of black
I
folks to
went.
go see the Patton?
I went with
Oh
one of
no!
those
You
churches.
got
Oh, my
caught up.
And I'm
goodness.
sitting there around these people like, why is y'all crying? What the fuck?
For Jim Caviezel.
He didn't save nobody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's
No, the Patriot though is what DeSantis and them are showing for Black History Month and U.S. history.
Sound of freedom.
and because it's got the happy slave that learned to trade and supported. They were all happy. Like
mhm.
let's go fight with this white man. Save yeah, that's what they
Against the
anyway.
British. The British are our enemy.
Against the British are the problem.
The British are the problem word.
Big up to all
That's
our white
funny.
saviors, man. I catch y'all later.
We appreciate you.
I don't
Yes,
have no
definitely.
white
Thank you.
saviors.
Mm-mm. Hey, yo, can we talk about Haiti for a minute?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
So, as we said, where is it? Okay, here it is. As I said at the top of the show, Kenya has deployed police troops into Haiti. It's interesting how it's being reported. And this is from Africa News. They're saying a delegation of Kenyan police officers, they make it sound as benign as possible, arrived in Haiti on Sunday. Nearly a dozen senior police officers left the Toussaint Louverture International Airport in the capital, Port-au-Prince, in armored cars heading to the U.S. Embassy, which is The U.S. embassy in Haiti is the fourth largest U.S. embassy in the world. Why? Think about that for a minute. The Kenyan officers are on a reconnaissance mission, they say, to Haiti following the country's offer to help the Haitian National Police in their fight against gang violence. Friday, UN human rights officials, the United Nations is absolutely in on this, denounced what they call the extreme brutality of gangs in Haiti, with thousands fleeing several neighborhoods in the country's capital this week amid a surge in violence. They say that from January 1st of this year to August 15th, more than 2,400 people in Haiti were reported killed, more than 950 kidnapped, another 902 injured, according to Ravina Shamdasani, spokesperson for the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. I am dubious about those numbers and whether they are all attributed to these so-called gangs, particularly since we know that there was a huge music festival in Haiti like 2 or 3 weeks ago. In the northern part of Haiti, there was another festival just last week in the northern part of Haiti. So the reality is that these criminal gangs are not running rampant all throughout Haiti. And the issue is not that there is not a problem with these, armed criminal gangs. The issue is the conflation of gangs with Haitians' inability to govern themselves, which has always been the narrative about Haiti, and turning this into conflating this to an issue to such a degree that now African nations are being called on to militarily intervene in Haiti, where the United Nations and the United States has not been able to get any other country to do it for the past 10 years, 20 years, because they've been trying. So, they put out the call, oh, something's got to do about the Haitians. We got to do something about the Haitians. And what do the Kenyans do? They come and we'll go, boss. Yes, boss, we'll go for you. So they're claiming this is a reconnaissance mission, but you don't need to send an entire contingent of armed police in an armored vehicle into another country for reconnaissance. So this is not a police mission. This is a de facto invasion that is being done by Kenya on behalf of the core group, US, Canada, and all of those other countries, including Brazil. We can never let Brazil off the hook and any other country for their betrayal of Haiti, because it seems like in my experience organizing in the US, particularly on the left, it seems like solidarity ends at the doorstep of Haiti for a lot of folks on the left, and that shit's got to stop. So we need to keep all eyes on Haiti, as well as we are keeping eyes on the Sahel and what's going on in Peru, what's going on in Ecuador, we have got to, this is what woke means. This is what woke means, being aware of everything that is going on in regard to our people around the world right now.
Maybe I'm
Yeah,
naive,
yeah.
but I was gonna say, like, maybe it's just me, learning about this stuff recently, but I can't believe it's 200 years of basically invasions just because they were like, we need to be free. Like, really, 200 years? So,
and not, I don't know if this is the correct use of the word irony, Jared, but they did this on the anniversary of the Haitian Revolution.
Yikes. Hold
I
on.
don't
Somebody
think,
is
I'm sorry,
banging
I don't
microphones.
believe in coincidences.
Kim. Yeah,
Huh?
sorry. Say that again, Jackie, because there was
My bad.
we lost some of what you said with microphone movement or whatever.
Oh,
But yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry if
no,
my
that's
bad.
cool. No, that's fine. I don't believe that none of this is I don't believe in coincidences. August 21st, 1791. is the anniversary, is the day of the Haitian Revolution, where enslaved Africans on the island of Haiti rose up. Voodoo was a key medium of the Haitian Revolution. They traveled miles to sing and dance and practice the rites and talk and plan the revolution, and then they destroyed tirelessly. It was beautiful, like the peasants in the Jacquerie or the Luddite records. They were seeking their salvation in the most obvious way, the destruction of what they knew was the cause of their sufferings. And if they destroyed much, it was because they had suffered much. And Haiti has been made to pay for this ever since 1791. So I don't think it's a coincidence that this was done on the anniversary of the Haitian Revolution by Kenyans. Fuck them compradors in Kenya. And this is not the Kenyan people. This is the Kenyan ruling class we're talking about.
It's been a long time, and I'm certainly no expert, but I've been to Kenya. I've walked through Nairobi and some of the outskirts and seen what people are having to live with in the cities, like in what's supposed to be the capitals and the centers. And Kenya got no business being messing with anybody else. Like their whole we were at this brother's house or home. I'm gonna call it a home. I think house might misrepresent what we were dealing with here. But he did have a TV, and I'll never forget, he had a TV and a VCR, and he was like, as soon as the sun goes, you can only watch it during the day, because if you turn it on at night, people will know I have it, and it will get stolen along with everything else in here. Wow. That was the level. I've always used that as a barometer of the level of not only the inequality, but the general condition. And so for them to be sending people and whatever resources they have to mess with another, particularly African community, is just, woo. It just don't even sound right. Kenya sent somebody to somewhere? What? Mm-hmm. Anyway.
And that's why, like as Jackie mentioned up front, this is, other nations were mentioned, but this is purely a U.S. operation here. The fact that they get off the plane, and the first place they go to is the U.S. Embassy to get their orders. Basically, right. That's where they're going. They're not meeting with the Haitian government. They're not meeting with the UN, which makes it any better, of course, like that some UN delegation. But it's this tells you how straight the narrative is. They get off the plane, they go to the U.S. Embassy to get their orders about what it is their role is going to be when they hit the ground. And everybody's right. This is basically just disgusting. They could not find other nations to go back in, particularly after everything that happened with the other UN invasion of Haiti that the Brazilians led. In the United States, the only progress we can say has been made is that the United States feels it cannot even overtly itself go into Haiti, but now it just must find surrogates to do that. And it found its surrogate. They had to go all the way to Africa, which I'm sure was part of their plan, of their little, hey, let's get Africans to invade other Africans in Haiti. They can't call it racist then, right? Hey, let's do that. That's a great picture. And then that's what we're seeing here. And I agree, this is going to be another disaster. Because there are gang, from speaking to folks, Haitians, Mamira Possible, whatever like that, there definitely are gang issues. But as Mamira points out, one of those things that we point out when we talk about like guns in the hood, who brought those guns into Haiti?
Right.
What was the purpose of bringing those heavy artillerized weaponry into Haiti and distributing them to street level gangsters and making them now a force to be reckoned with? There was a plan of action that just did not happen. Folks didn't just wake up one day and start importing guns from like fucking Texas and it was like, hey, those were dropped into Haiti for purposes. And the outcome of that is what we're still seeing, is the continued destabilization of Haiti, the attempt to wrestle Haiti back from these people movements that have continually hit the ground, and continually been out front, everything from labor movements to grassroots movements. All of this is part of like reach and back to what Lucretia said. This is all because Haiti had the nerve to be free or want freedom. Haiti cannot be a model of stability, of what other nations can accomplish, particularly African nations. So they continually attempt to destroy Haiti to make it seem like it's some basket case that needs saving. And so every time they go to try to save it, what they're really doing is trying to destroy it even further, because they cannot let Haiti be the sustainable developing nation that won its freedom from through a revolutionary method from white colonizers, turn into a model of African development. That is what they're trying to stop.
Jacqueline, are the Bahamas and Jamaica still part of this mission?
As far as I know, yes. I don't know that it's not being reported that they have deployed any personnel or police or troops into Haiti right now, but they have pledged that they will join Kenya in this effort. So we'll see what they do in the coming days. And let me just say, CARICOM is not getting enough smoke for me right now, because CARICOM is really the one that approached Kenya and Jamaica and these other countries to do this. So CARICOM, they're a bunch of compradors too. They're a bunch of sellouts and traders too. Just like the African Union is. So that they're just like the African Union and ECOWAS are in relation to what's going on in the Sahel. So we got a whole lot of compradors to deal with in this mess, and we can't miss anybody who is responsible for the betrayal of our people.
Some of y'all Caribbean in this chat now. I know a couple of y'all cousins is in the Jamaican army and shit. You better be texting them, get in your WhatsApp group and tell them don't show up. Don't show up for them orders when they deploying from wherever port they deploy. Don't go. You just say no. You tell them you got COVID. Don't go. Stay home.
Oh, can I do another little thing?
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all heard of this song by this dude, Oliver Anthony?
Oh yeah. This is the white boy, right? Who's number one on the chart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me
Are
make
you
sure.
gonna make us listen to this, Jackie?
Hell no, I'm
Yeah,
not
this
gonna make
did
you
come
listen
up.
to
No,
it.
you got to. You got to go to the New York Times one, and where he actually
must
sings the
I?
song in the video. It is hilarious.
Oh,
He starts talking about the welfare cheats. It's hilarious.
that's what I
Oh.
wanted to. Yes.
Oh wow.
Okay, so can you see the New York Times article I got up?
Go ahead and pull it up, and we'll take a break and pull that one up so we can check that one out.
Okay.
That's cool. We can do
Okay,
that?
yes.
All right, that sounds great.
Let's take a cheats. Ooh, he
we're gonna take
talking
a
about his
real
trailer
quick
park
break.
cousin. His trailer park cousin.
Girl.
Who he talking about?
Let's talk about it. We're gonna do it right here, right after this break, right here on the Remix Morning Show. What up, y'all? Big up. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe button. I wanted to do a quick shameless plug. Big up to everybody that tuned in to Sundays this Sunday. We did it up with the salsa dance. I played a lot of salsa music. So if you had your dancing shoes, go check that one out. And the thing is about Sundays is you could go to the playlist and pull up something that you want to listen to while you cleaning up your house or something. We got a whole bunch of mixes there that you could just throw on. Speaking of a mix, I was talking about, since we got our go-go people on here from DC and the DMV area, I wanted to let y'all go back to another one that I did that was on go-go music when I did a history lesson on go-go music. Imagine that, me doing a history lesson on go-go music. Check this out. What? It's all because of you. I'm feeling sad as you went away, and now I feel we're ready. Come on! I love you so. Yeah. So check that out. It's a whole one on go-go. In case y'all don't know about it, y'all want to learn about go-go music. It is a genre of funk music that has rhythmic patterns, a live audience with a call and response. And a friend of mine from DC was talking about go-go, and I was like, oh yeah, the karaoke with a live band, the glamorized karaoke with a live band. Oh, they were so heated. But anyway, That's what it is. Let's go ahead and get back to the Remix Morning Crew. You know how we do. All right.
You've said some horrific shit.
But that right there,
Kamal agrees though, don't he?
Kamal, stay quiet. Don't get in this. Don't
you
get
better
in this.
not say nothing, Kamal.
Glen Ross karaoke with a live
Oh
band.
man, Jared Jackie, come on, let's hop on a flight. We're gonna see you about 3 hours.
I'm not even lying when I tell you I'm sweating. I'm hot.
What
Mad to the
kind
mug, boy. I tell you, boy. Watch your mouth, boy. I'm
people
up in here
think
heated.
foolishness is that?
That's why you can't be exposing African stuff to these colonized minds because they don't recognize the glory and the
Preach,
beauty
Kim.
and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
That's why you have to understand, like DC in the DC area cares not that go-go is not a national accepted genre of music. It can stay right here. It's
Mhm.
fine where it is. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
We never cared whether or not y'all liked it, but stay the fuck out of here, man, with your pots and pans nonsense.
Yeah,
With your
thank
pots
you.
and pans
Keep your little
music
opinions,
slander.
your little bullshit opinions to yourself.
Whew.
And before I get out of here, I got
Yeah,
some other
really.
ones. But before I got Dangerous Minds. That's a movie. I got
yeah.
Wildcats with Goldie Hawn. The White Shadow.
Oh my God, yeah.
I actually used to like the White Shadow. Yeah.
The Matrix.
I was a
and,
child though.
And could Welcome Back Carter be one? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
So
He was the teacher, he was the white teacher in the ghetto school with the whole diverse student body for some reason.
there it is.
Like in like the Bronx or some shit like
There's
that.
literally one of everybody.
Yeah.
It is.
Travolta
And only one who became really
right?
famous though.
Yeah,
And that would be John
Travolta was
Travolta.
Travolta was in that. Freddie Boom Boom Washington of
Yep.
Lawrence
Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
whatchamacallit fame. Damn. It's another travesty of my memory.
I'm glad I pulled that up before.
Oh, Cooley High.
Cochise. He was he
Cooley
was
High.
Cochise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooley High. Thank you.
All right. Well, big up the Go-Go people.
He
Man.
just says that and leaves. Like he didn't say something dramatic.
Nothing else. Nothing else.
And see, I think we may have to critique Air Doctor's historical recapping of go-go music. We're gonna have to go through that with the wide tooth comb. We're gonna not use
So-
the fine tooth comb, but the wide tooth comb. And
Dr.
Fine.
Tahira Mahdi, I believe, I understand you watched the remix. I put the call out privately. I'm calling you out publicly to bring your go-go show to the platform. Dr. Tahira Mahdi, I'm calling you out again. This sister
Please.
is fierce. She's a PhD. She's a
Yeah.
go-go organizer and promoter. She's a radio host. Take Me Out to the Go-Go. Shout out to them. And I've been trying to get her on here to do it. She said she's gonna do it. Try, because we got to get the ear doctors of the world straight on this.
Straight.
Like, we gotta clarify this. I'm heated right now. I'm heated.
aren't we coming up on some big anniversary of Go-Go Live at the Capitol Center? Do you guys? I don't have to ask y'all. Do y'all
Ooh,
remember?
Ricky.
I already know y'all do.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again. Kim, I got distracted by Ricky's question. What was that?
Anniversary? Are we coming up on some big anniversary of So in the late 80s, Go-Go was featured at the big arena
Yeah.
here in the DC area at that time, the Capitol Center, which was in Landover, Maryland. And everybody I don't know how everybody had a copy of this VHS tape. it was in everybody's household of every Go-Go band, Little Benny and the Masters, Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, the Junkyard Band, Rare Essence.
Oh, wow.
I think this was before Backyard was even formed. This Backyard was Little Babies, I suppose, Big G and Carlos and them. But like, anyway, we're
This
getting too
is-
local. Let's move along.
No, just quickly, real quick, because this is a monumentous moment for me as well, in particular, because I got the audio tape of this. This is the Capitol Center 1987 that Kim was talking about. The audio tape made it to my apartment out here in these tree-lined streets, and this is what changed my life. this is it.
Yeah.
I had heard of Trouble Funk. I had heard of Chuck Brown, but this was the joint. When I saw this, I said, what? And I was locked in for life. So this is
Scorpio.
DC
Wow.
Scorpio, Little Benny, EU, Rare
Wow.
Essence. Everybody was at this joint, and to your point, it is what changed everything. So yeah, 1987.
Yeah.
I remember I got the tape. It was a wrap.
Kamal, you could be a go-go star as long as they put the words on the screen so you can sing along.
You are so
Make him go away.
disrespectful.
Go
So-
away.
Just
So-
height of disrespect.
Just quickly, and this is what we need to do. I was watching just yesterday with my youngest. We were talking about this. There's a video from during quarantine where the band Still Familiar did a quarantine performance, and they go into a rendition of Tevin Campbell's "Can We Talk?" And I broke it down to show how go-go bands do it, because you got to remember, these are this whole thing that Ear Doctor is saying about the karaoke. These are working people. These are not professionals for the most part. These are people you see at the grocery store. They're doing their day job. Then they go and do a quick practice. Then they go and do a show, and not often for money for the most part, but for the love of the community and the art. And what they do is they take the just like with the DJ and the sample, they take the best part of a song, hook it, loop it, and put it as a precursor to get you back in the pocket. So they're not trying to do the whole. They're not looking to. To call it karaoke is disrespectful to the way they remix it, reorganize it, rearrange it, and then drop the pocket on it. Whatever.
Just take him right on off the screen. Don't nobody care what these non-go-go connoisseurs have to say or think. We don't care. We don't care. Which little
No rhythm.
So seriously, if you can appreciate the hip hop sample, you have to be able to appreciate what is done in go-go. You wouldn't call DJ Premier a karaoke remixer. You would be like, no, he's a genius who's remixing someone else's art for something new. And you can't say that and the go-go version, the artist should be thanked. Adele should thank Backyard for doing Hello.
Come on. You better
Ashley
Preach that word.
Simpson's. Ashley Simpson's Pieces
you.
of Me. Rare Essence turned it into another song. Like it's a whole nother, and it's way better than her song. And no disrespect to even Sade. No Ordinary Love, the Rare Essence version.
What?
911 band, when they did it, it is better than Sade.
Lucretia, why is your mouth open? What's happening?
Because I'm surprised I know an artist. I'm like, oh wait, Pieces of Me. I know that song. Yeah. I was singing that.
Let that be your hook. I want, after we log off, go to YouTube or whatever, and let's go listen to Rare Essence versions of Pieces of Me with Miss Kim singing the lead. Miss Kim, shout out to Miss Kim, best name out there in go-go. But yeah, so yes.
All right, before we move back on to Jackie's story, Ricky did ask the question about Mr. Carter being Jewish. And so therefore, could it be a white savior thing? She directed that to you, Jay.
Oh shit.
Oh, did she?
I mean, I got answers too, of course. Like,
No,
hell
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, but yeah, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. And we could get into, obviously there's nuance, and but European descended Jews happily, particularly in this context, adopt and play to whiteness. And in that context, it is absolutely
white.
White savior.
It was white savior. If they were maybe meeting in some political organization and Mr. Carter was just one of the people there, maybe it'd be something different. But when you lead in the class and you the authority and yours is the family that we see. Remember, we see him and his wife. We don't see none of them kids' families.
Right. Yep. They were just stray
They just
miscreants.
came in out of nowhere. Emerged out of the mist, the ghetto mist.
You guys
Uh-huh.
check your email. I
Woo!
sent y'all a story. It's not black, but it's big red scare. It's big colonization. Because
Mm.
America is ready to colonize the moon, and they're almost drooling over it. And I find it to be very strange.
Oh, I
I
got.
find it
Do
to
you
be
know? Wait. Straight up, the summer I went on my first trip to the continent, 1996. In New York that summer, Bill Clinton. The headline as we were ready to get on the plane and leave New York said Bill Clinton. The headline said we are going to colonize the moon. That is the headline from I believe the New York Times. It's July somewhere in 1996. So this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have to
Let's
hurry
finish
up.
Jackie's thing. Wait a minute,
Oh, my
Jackie
bad.
was
Oh,
finishing
sorry.
her New York Times story first.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
so
Jackie.
so no, that's cool. So I just wanted to talk about this story right now because once again, folks on the left are tripping over themselves, losing their minds about some other right-wing white person. And just really having bad class analysis and not even caring. This song, Rich Men North of Richmond, that is by this person, Oliver Anthony. And this is Oliver Anthony. Um,
Oh, you could just tell this is going to be good.
it just, I just, when I heard the song, I'm like, why are people not hearing the serious class contradictions in this song? But I'm not gonna make you listen to the song. You listen to it yourself. But
Oh, Kamal said we had to hear it. Kamal.
oh,
Nah,
come
You gotta
on,
hear like
now.
10 seconds of twang. 10 seconds of twang.
Fine.
Just
Here,
10 seconds of twang.
here.
Just 10 seconds of the twang.
Oh,
country music genre.
hate it. Okay.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
can't
I
you
mean,
just
yeah,
tell?
yeah.
You could tell by just looking at some people that
Let me see. Come on.
they're talented and their art is
Bullshit pays so I can sit out here and waste my life away. Drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to.
Okay, you know what?
That is the number one song
Wow.
in the country. I just
Is
want
it?
folks to know that.
It
Yes,
is.
that song is shot up with a bullet
Yep.
as the number one Billboard ranked song in the country. And it partly is because all of these right wing folks who have these large platforms
Mm-hmm.
have endorsed it or pushed it. And I shouldn't just say white, right? Jason Whitlock, all these other
Oh my
folks
God.
have
Right.
pushed the song out here to
Crack
be
a
the
ass.
number one song. And the I'm going to call this dude the artist, I guess, to be nice to him. He claims he's politically middle of the road, but obviously his version thereof includes a line that I'm thinking Jackie's going to get to,
Yes.
where he's talking about, just one line that he repeats as well as others, I guess, in terms of talking about welfare cheats or whatever. But go ahead.
Yeah. The fact that, Kamau is right. They point out in this article in the New York Times that the reason this song became so popular is because people like Jack Posobiec and Jason Whitlock. Jack Posobiec? Really? The right-wing racist? Okay. Boosted it. And they're like sitting around talking. Matt Walsh says the main reason this song resonates with so many people isn't political. Bullshit. Bullshit. So you go down and if you want to listen to the song, he does say something in the song about, oh, where is it? I can't find it now. But anyway, there's a lyric in the song that says, I wish politicians would I wish Lord, we got folks in the street. This is what it is. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, Texas ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. That is classic communism. That is shitting on people on welfare. That's shitting on fat folks. But the thing that's got me pissed off about this song is that folks on the so-called left
That's a lyric.
are propping this song up as some type of own that, oh, the left doesn't have an answer for this. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. For our answer is people on welfare are not our enemy. They're not the reasons you're working overtime and you're not getting paid enough. That's not people on welfare's problem. People
Oh,
on
I thought
welfare
our
not
answer
doing
was
that.
Killer Mike.
I thought our answer was 50 years of funk. I thought our answer came from from the last poets. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
And then he has another song, because this is not the only song he has where he said, and I actually confused the two songs together, but he has another song where he's singing about people crying about burning coal, not the poor souls who's digging it. Well, that's not true, because the reason we on the left have been saying that fossil fuels need to be ended is not only because it contributes to climate change, but because mining fossil fuels kills people. We've been saying that. But people on the left, particularly white people on the left, which, again, the fact that there are white people on the left propping this garbage song up as some type of anthem for the kind of politics we need is just another indication that too many white folks who call themselves leftists are actually right wing.
Yeah, because part of the song is he's talking about you blame the rich from Richmond kind of thing. So people are trying to take a little bit of a class analysis out of it, which again speaks to the weird political dynamic we're in, where some of these right wingers, to an extent, talk about the rich, but they're not talking really about capital, like reshaping capitalism into socialism. They're just talking about a capitalism that does what it used to do, which is to include the white working class in some benefits and in a decent wage and so forth and so on. So, but that's so it's these same white lefties who think they're going to organize the Trump crowd without dealing and talking about race.
Y'all keep saying white left. Name names. Who are y'all talking about? Who are these white lefties?
This is an instance where it's not any one particular person, but if you've been in this online progressive-ish space since the whole Bernie Sanders, you know the folks. It's the Caitlin Johnstones. It's the and unless you've been around these folks for as long as they've been popular, you would know who they are. It's the same damn people every time. And it's
for me, the last thing for me is the fact that, again, this song was lifted basically by right wingers, with large either social media followings or whatever, which again speaks to we can't lift a no name song to number one,
right?
We can't lift a sort of like a song we consider either politically or culturally to our liking to a certain level, but this I'm going to say no talent dude. I don't, this strumming low talent dude who probably admits himself that doesn't have a lot of talent. All of a sudden has a music career, not because of the large artistic endeavor, and it's because someone lifted this up. Which is not to say that doesn't always happen in the music business in different ways, but the way this was lifted up in particular speaks again to the kind of the times we're in and how that stuff sort of progresses and becomes what it is.
So I understand that he's become a bit problematic lately, but Chappelle did leave us the gem of the race draft. And I would love it if we could bring that back for a Patreon special so we could get rid of Jason Whitlock. Can we get this trade?
Who is claiming him? Whose team?
Nobody.
Well,
he's claiming.
Whose team is he actually on right now that he can be traded from?
He traded himself. I think he already traded himself, right? He
did.
But he still exists to be the black voice in those spaces. So I would just like to can we just make it official? Can we sign the paperwork on it and get something in return? What
do we get in return?
I don't even need anything in return. Can we
just a free trade, just to give it away on a free?
We don't need to because I gotta.
He just got cut. He didn't get traded. He just got cut.
I don't need anything in return. He can go. Stephen A. Smith can go. All of these white progressives who love to chase after right wing folks and their right wing ideas, they can all go. These people who think that this song is some great a political clarion call for this unreached masses of people while still crapping on poor people from a guy who himself admits that he's pretty dead center down the aisle on politics, and that just like those once wandering in the desert, we have lost our way from God and have let false idols distract and divide us. That's what he said about himself. And he's writing a song shitting on poor people. So y'all can have him. Y'all can have them white progressives who like him. Y'all
And
can
Fresh
have
and Fit.
folks that
But
have
that's
it.
why. But
Let me go to work.
believe me, I had a piece,
Oh,
Jack. I did have. I know we had a time. We got Ear Doctor. You know, he owes us a mix, but Fresh and Fit was on my agenda for today, and without Fresh and Fit being monetized on YouTube, the Kamals of the world are gonna have a harder time keeping their wives quiet. Because we don't have we're losing the proper training on how to get our women to make us sandwiches and stay in the dark. You know, since Fresh and Fit have been demonetized.
I learned about all this fucking random shit through y'all. Like I don't know if I want y'all be the ones bringing me this. Like I have Fresh and
What
Fit.
is Fresh and
Jared.
Fit?
Who the fuck is
The-
this cracker that Jackie just played for us? Like I don't want y'all to tell me this. I don't.
Fair enough.
I don't. Like I do not want to hear this from y'all specifically. You know what I'm saying? Let the crackers have that mediocre shit. Like we talking about people with no musical taste, obviously, because fucking Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn was speaking about being po white trash 50 fucking years ago, way more brilliantly than this piece of shit. And we tripping off what Matt Walsh is pushing to the top of the charts. Come on.
I think that's a good last word. Go ahead. Yeah, that's a good last word. Ear Doctor, mix us out of this.
Can we get Dirk Nowitzki?
I think a basketball player.
And according to his depiction in this new Winning Time series, I think we might want Larry Bird. I didn't know Larry. Larry, they making Larry look good to me.
Come on, Ear Doctor, mix this out. These niggas have lost their mind this morning.
Give us
Come on.
Larry. His name even is
I gotta
black.
finish the episode. I gotta finish the episode.
I mean, it's
Another hour.
His name is even black. Larry. All right, let's get out of here, y'all. Remix for the show.
Wine, wine, wine. Hey, girl, me telling you to wine, wine, wine. Oh, mommy telling you
Let's
to
go.
wine, wine, wine. Girl, me telling you to wine, wine, wine. Hey, the girl them want me to write a song to make them one and go down. So since you like instruction, ask a caption, Carnival Junction. Hard wine, I miss a wine up your bumper. Every girl I miss a wine up your bumper. Hard wine, wine up your bumper. Every girl I miss a wine up your bumper. Check, check. The girl them want me.
Big up to my West Indian community. Ricky Ryan, I hope you liking it.
I go take the blame. I go take the blame. Tell them call the name. Tell them call the name. I go take the blame. I go take the blame. 'Cause right now I just one of them, two of them, say the crew of them, I will wind them. Could a three of them, could a four of them, even more of them, I will grind them. Send the whole of them, send the whole of them, friend. Cock up my girl, dirty wine. So what am I say? All right now, me step in at the club, I dance over the dope, and the girl come and wind up on me. Me stand so tall back against the wall, and now she start climb up on me.
And we about to be out of here, y'all. No other than Remix Morning Show. We catch y'all in the morning, 8 a.m. Tune back in. Yeah.
Watch we balance it.